Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's doing everything humanly possible to be the best game in the series. But even though I think people should focus on the positives rather than which characters didn't or might not make the cut, I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting more characters or having specific wishes. Cause although I don't think characters like Waluigi and Air from Zelda 2 are more important than Inklings Ridley, King K. Rool, or Simon Belmont, I'd have to agree that more video game characters being added to Smash Bros. Definitely makes a game better, even though I understand there isn't enough development time to include everybody. And I can't think of one good reason to not add any of the characters into the series that fans are clamoring for, aside from the character in the title of this video, Son Goku, of course, which is an opinion that's sure to divide the internet and start a non-canon OVA to World War II. But sit back, relax, get your fingers off the weapons of mass destruction button, press the subscribe button if you haven't already, and allow me, the late great Cameron, to tell you why Goku should keep his moderately attractive ass outside of Smash. Even though I'm sure most pro-Gokuers haven't even bothered to make it this far into the video and have already started sharding in the comments, I'm gonna make it clear to those who are still here that I love Goku and the Dragon Ball franchise. I've been a fan from the original Ocean dub to Lord Slug being ruined by cringy butt rock, to passing out watching the DVD box sets and waking up to the unnecessarily loud menu theme at 5 in the morning. Not to mention that I've made a few videos on the series here and there. So trust me, I love my goddamn Dragon Ball. But even though there aren't any video game characters that I specifically don't want in Smash, if it were up to me, I'd never want Goku in. And no, not because of how powerful he is, that doesn't bother me at all. Because if the strengths of Smash characters accurately represented their native games, then Duck Hunt and Little Mac would have been frigged a long time ago. So obviously, much like J-Star's Victory Versus, Goku'd be more or less balanced to be on par with everybody else. However, the main reason I don't think he has any place in Smash though is primarily because he's an anime character and didn't originate from a video game. I know the Dragon Ball video games are more successful than a lot of franchises that are represented in Smash, but if we're gonna use that logic, then why not just go ahead and add Harry Potter, Tom Clancy, Batman, Jar Jar Binks, or even John Madden? And I'm sure some people are thinking, that sounds awesome, you whole ass. Those characters were all a part of my childhood, and Darth Vader was in Soul Calibur, so who cares? Well, first of all, Soul Calibur's a different franchise, you dingoes. And second of all, just because most of the characters in Smash are nostalgic, doesn't mean that the theme is nostalgia. Otherwise, Eddie Brown would have made it in. You know, the main character from Nostalgia? On the Nintendo DS? Eh?
You don't care.
My point is that the charm in Smash Bros. Works just fine with video game characters, and even though I don't think Goku in particular would ruin everything all by himself to the point where I'd stop caring about the franchise, I still think it'd muddy the waters, and it'd be a slippery slope from that point forward, even if Goku were just optional DLC. Because if the Smash roster turns into characters based on nostalgia, then where do you draw the line? It'd start off with popular characters who were actually in video games like the ones I mentioned earlier, until it got way out of hand and we ended up with Walter White and Enzo from Reboot. Sure, that sounds crazy, and pro-Gokuers are probably mad enough to punch my ass right about now, but just wait till Steven Seagal's announced for Smash Pinnacle in 2047 and everybody wonders where the series went wrong. Cause the answer will be that it all started with Goku, so let's just nip it in the bud now before it grows out of control. However, I suppose time changes everything though. After all, Smash went from Nintendo characters to letting Snake join the party per Hideo Kojima's request, which then led to Sonic, Mega Man, Pac-Man, and Simon Belmont, with there only being enough room for notable characters like Bomberman and Shovel Knight to be assist trophies. So I can see why some people would argue that Smash Bros. Already went way off course anyway, so they might as well just add Goku. I mean, anything Dragon Ball touches turns to gold, right? Well, that may be true, and even though Smash Bros. Is going to sell extremely well as it is, I can't argue that adding Goku wouldn't lead to more copies of the game being sold to casuals, even if diehard and competitive fans hated it. But just because adding Goku to Smash Ultimate or any future game in the franchise would sell more copies, doesn't necessarily mean that Nintendo would make more money, because Dragon Ball is much bigger than Smash Bros. And Goku being in the game doesn't really do that much for Dragon Ball, because most Smash fans either already like Dragon Ball or at least know that they don't like it, and Goku being involved probably won't sway anybody's opinion on the anime one way or another. So while I'm sure companies like Sega, Capcom, and even Ryuta Kamishima are happy to let Nintendo use their characters and or likenesses for free, or at the very least dirt cheap due to the exposure and free promotion, Toei Animation would probably want Nintendo to go the extra mile to make it worth their while. And I know Sakurai puts himself through hell for the fans, but I don't think he'd be willing to degrade himself for Akira Toriyama just to have Goku in Smash, especially when the fanbase is as divided on the matter as it is. And I know one or two of you may be thinking, wait a minute, you butt wagon, Funimation wants Goku in the game. To which I say,
well, Lottie frickin' da!
Funimation's responsible for dubbing Dragon Ball in one language and has zero pull over anything to do with the franchise outside of having loose freedom on how dialogue is delivered in English.
You should be watching.
Why are you telling me I should be watching? I already gave you my money, you butt-ass. I'm just kidding, Funimation's cool, but the friggin' janitor at Toei Animation or even Akira Toriyama's cat has more pull than Funimation. So to the small group of people who took Funimation's tweets to heart, settle down, will ya? Cause even though Smash's developer, Bandai Namco, also makes Dragon Ball games, the fans who don't want Goku in the game really don't want him in there, and the fans who do don't expect it at all. So why would Nintendo go through the trouble just to cross a line they can never return from when there's already enough video game characters to worry about including as it is? Cause like I said earlier, if Goku were to somehow make the cut, the requests for other popular non-gaming characters are gonna run wild. And if you think fans are ruthless about Waluigi being snubbed, then just imagine how the vocal minority is gonna react when Midoriya and Kenny Omega are only assist trophies. But regardless of why I personally don't want Goku in Smash, the biggest reason why I don't think he'll end up in the franchise anyways, cause even if Goku could be added to Smash free of charge from Toei Animation, without Sakurai giving sexual favors to Akira Toriyama, and if fans around the world all signed an agreement that they'd never ask for another non-gaming character again, there's still no way in Ichi Triple Hockey Sticks that Nintendo would be able to freely use Goku from that point forward. And any Smash Bros. Game with Goku would pretty much not even belong to Nintendo after the license expired. Much like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, it'd just sit in limbo forever, and eventually Goku would be replaced with Mr. Dream. I mean, it sucks that Nintendo can never re-release New Ghostbusters 2, which was developed by HAL Laboratories, without repackaging it as a Luigi's Mansion game, wink wink. Until then, we're only gonna be able to play Nintendo's licensed games from the past using emulators. Or wait, never mind. Dang it. I know Smash Bros. Games never get ports anyway, so the license expiring wouldn't really be that big of a deal, but I'd bet my uncle's ass that every Smash Bros. Game from this point forward is going to keep all the characters while adding new ones with each game. And if Goku's in one game but never another after that, then many people are just going to use that as an excuse as to why Smash Bros. Turned to doo-doo. What do you think, though? Should Nintendo and Sakurai just stick to video game franchises only for Smash? Or should they just say frig it and add whoever? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and as always, I'll pin whatever I find most entertaining or intriguing. Don't forget to like and share this video to help this channel grow. Thanks to everybody who supports us on Patreon for wacky rewards. And if your power level's 9001 or higher, then go ahead and press the subscribe button if you haven't already. My name's Cameron, and I'll see you next time.
So I want to say thank you to your loyalty, thank you for your support.